How you doing out there? This is Will McLeod enforcing the city's sign ordinance. We're over here on Babcock Road and Medical Drive. It's on Babcock Road. I need to call back the sign inspector and let him know that I got the name of the street wrong. But just got off the phone leaving in a very detailed message about equal enforcement and equal application of our laws. We're going to go find an illegally affixed campaign sign for a District 8 councilman. There's going to be a link on the YouTube page to the helpful tips to install political signage, where it says you can't put them here. You got to put them on private property with the owner's permission. Now, Manny Pelaez, he's an attorney, so this type of actions by allowing people to place signs up illegally can very well get him disbarred by the State Bar of Texas. So, you know, if you feel like you want to file a complaint with the State Bar, you can go ahead and do so. But the company they use to do this is called SIGNBUSTERS LLC. They're located off of 330 West Baetz Blvd, a single-family home running a business, violating our zoning laws. San Antonio, Texas 78221. The registered agent for the service of process is Valerie Jamarillo. It's co-owned with her husband, Leo Jamarillo. But we're over here, you're gonna see, it is a little dark. I don't have my flasher on my phone. But you're gonna see right here, okay, now say if you called CBRE in this Westgate Medical Center and asked them if it's okay to put a sign right up here, right here, here's the sidewalk, the right-of-way line easement to the curb, and that's a private property right here. That would be permissible. But this thing right here is city property, city right-of-way. And it says on the campaign signs themselves, they are not allowed on city property. So this right here is very important to have this unobstructed, because we want to see if there's flood water so we could turn around and don't drown. It looks like he don't care about public safety. Well, signbusters don't care. So what I'm going to do, I have my cutters here. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to lay it down flat, because it is an obstruction and it's not supposed to be up here. So we're going to go ahead and cut it. See if I can get my cutters working right. Okay, there we go. There's that one. Okay. And, you know, I've told him over the phone I'm going to do this. We're going to make sure we lay them flat. Looks like some other sign was here affixed illegally a couple of months ago. We're going to cut it. We're going to cut it down. Of course, this is going on YouTube. We're shaming signbusters because they say the city, according to them, the city allows them to put them anywhere they want. So I need to be careful with my phone, because you know what happened last time when I tried to take one down and set it down, and we're going to lay it down flat. It's almost 10 o'clock on Sunday. It was just recently put here. So we're going to lay it down flat, and if it's still here a couple of days from now, we're going to put a sticker on there that says notice of violation, and we're going to point where it's violated. See right over here? That's all storm drain right here. You need to see that in case, you know, there's a flood. Public safety is paramount. Now, I do not advise, and I repeat, I do not advise you to take those signs down if they are on a freeway. Do not trespass onto the median of a freeway. If they're on the other side of the feeder, call TxDOT, because state law prohibits pedestrians on a freeway. That is highly illegal. And, you know, call TxDOT, keep calling them, harass them over the phone, do whatever, call flood them, and let them know that there's illegally placed signage over there. I don't discriminate. I put a notice on the fire station property about a week or two ago for his opponent, Frankie Gonzalez Wolf, and you know, I posted it up there. I didn't take that down because I didn't have guidance on if I could remove illegally affixed material on city property, such as the fire station. But that is considered the right-of-way right there, and anybody can do that. I need your help on this. If you see signs like that, get your pair of wire cutters or a pocket knife and do what I did. Clear the obstruction, lay it down flat, and then call 311 and tell them to pick it up. You shouldn't have to dispose of them. You can. Technically, you can. There's no law against it because it's on right-of-way once you take it down. It's not advisable to write on them. You know, if you're going to make a business, you know, sign and go get a permit to put signage at your place of employment, you know, if you're, you know, selling like books, records, CDs, whatever, you know, or wanting roofing repair and stuff like that, you know, write it down after you cut the sign down if it's on a right-of-way property. I mean, basically, technically it's fair game because it's in the right-of-way. Now, very important, it was on private property. If the private property owner doesn't want it there, and you got permission from the private property owner to take it down, you can. Like, the exceptions to that is kind of an exception, but not really an exception. Walgreens and CVS. If I see a legally affixed sign stick to the Walgreens or CVS property, the district manager already knows that I take them down and I bring them to them for disposal. But however, you know, CVS has kind of gave me static for it, so that's why I called the district manager, and they said we encourage you to do that because basically CVS, Walgreens, places like that are publicly traded companies, corporations, and they cannot engage in politics. They can and not matter in that fashion. It's called electioneering, and it's prohibited from a publicly traded corporation. They will say that at the Texas Ethics Commission, they have they go into detail about that. A limited partnership, such as some law offices, you know, that's a place where candidates can put their signs, but get permission from the owner. I cannot stress that enough. You wouldn't want me camping out on your backyard uninvited, just like you wouldn't want anyone else camping out in your backyard uninvited. Again, it all boils down to the Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment is the right to private property, the right of to, you know, if the government intrudes on your property, let's say you're a business and these people at Signbusters, they put that sign up illegally placed on what do you call it, your business. What you technically could do is sue Signbusters for violating your Fifth Amendment rights because they did not compensate you for their takings. It's called the takings clause. I mean, I had to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. I'm running for office. I swore an oath. I want everyone to follow the same. I mean, equal justice under the law, equal application of our laws. That's what I'm about. I'm not about a two-tier justice system. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, independent, socialist, or what, or on the fence. I really don't care your political affiliation. But the bottom line is, it's a nonpartisan race, and we're here because we want to change City Hall and make it work for the people. It's not working for the people if the laws are not in sync. They're not being enforced. And that's something we need to change here at City Hall. And it starts with very little measures like that. So I encourage everyone, every citizen, you see signs like that, cut them, take them down, lay them down flat, call 311 and tell them, pick it up, because it's not supposed to be there. Here's one right here, Latipat Property Management, 512-633-2825. They own this Aspen Dental FedEx office and Panda Express. So if I had campaign signs let's say I have campaign signs. I would call that number and I'd say, hey, you know what? I want to know if it's okay to put my signs up. And they'll either tell me yes or they'll tell me no. I was like, yes, okay. And it was customary to send them in writing and have them sign it for you. And then once you sign it, and you know, sometimes they'll charge you a fee for it. You charge them an amount to put their sign up. You know, that's all good. That's fair game. But if they tell you no, you know, don't go ahead and put them up there. And don't put them up there without asking them. You can ask them. All they can do is say no. Over here at 7-Eleven and Bank of America property, you have Cicioni and huh?
You gonna take this bus right here?
No,
Hey, how can I get? I don't know the buses around here, but I work right here at Puerto Loco. The first time I took the bus, but how do I get over there to like Bandera?
Ooh.
This bus stop passing going now.
Yeah, 534. The last 534 already ran.
So how can I get to like Fredericksburg or Crossroads?
Fredericksburg Crossroads. You would take the 100. You'd have to walk all the way up to Medical and Wurzbach and catch the 100.
All right.
And the 100 will take you to Fredericksburg. Huh?
Hey, but the 534, what is it? It goes this way still?
No, it stopped running. It stopped running that way and it stopped running that way. But it stopped running early on Sunday.
Oh, all right. So there's no more bus. Only on Monday through Friday, it runs later?
Monday through Friday, it runs later. Yeah, they're stuck in the 80s, unfortunately.
Well, where do I catch the bus? At the 100 then?
The 100, you have to walk all the way to Medical and University Hospital.
To get to Fredericksburg?
To get to Fredericksburg. Because I don't think the 95's running anymore.
How can I get to Bandera and Culebra?
You'd have to walk it or take an Uber or something, because the last 534. Yeah, last 534.
And where does the 522 go? It stopped passing too?
Yeah, the 522, that only goes to Las Palmas.
Does it?
That's already stopped.
Yeah, and one thing gets over there, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, so I'm fucked basically.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I mean, I try to call via every day, man.
Man, I don't know the bus like that. Appreciate all that.
Yeah, sure.
So the best thing is to go to the 100, right?
Yeah, go to the 100.
Yeah, because I got to get to Fredericksburg.
Yep.
Alright. Fredericksburg, I can get the 5.
Get the 100. Yeah, the 100 takes you to Fredericksburg. Okay, so anyway. See, I know the buses here. My opponent, Ana Sandoval, who worked for BF, probably won't know the buses as good as I know the buses. But what I was going to say, and I don't really want to get him on camera because I just don't want drama, even over out in public. Manny Pelias and Bert Cocconi, they placed their signs up there on 7-Eleven property. That's a corporate entity, publicly traded corporation. And I'm about to call the public corporate office to them, and I'm going to explain to them that it's prohibited. And if I don't see the signs taken down in an expedient fashion, I'm going to file a referral with the Internal Revenue Service, because under the Internal Revenue Code, I think it's the Internal Revenue Code that governs the corporations, it's electioneering and it's prohibited. And especially if they're a 501c3. If you see these things at McLeod Art Museum or just any other 501c3 charity, and you see political campaign signs, the only exception, and it's allowable exception per state and federal law, is a polling place. Like say if St. Pius is a polling place. I'm just throwing that out of my hat. Legally, you could do that, but it has to come down within 10 days after the election, and it cannot be placed more than a week before the election on that property. If it's used as a polling place, if it's not used as a polling place, it is unlawful for them to do that. For any candidate to place political advertisement on 501c property, 501c3 property, it's a no-no. And Bexar County Medical, I got into it with them about a year ago or so, because there was a campaign sign affixed to that park over there on Hamilton Wolf and Babcock. Legally this was a sign they didn't have permission to place, and code enforcement told them, oh, you're not allowed to touch it. It's like I said, the IRS says otherwise. And I said, you know, I expect it to be taken down, because if it's not taken down, I'm going to file a complaint with the Internal Revenue Service. And then the lady said, it was an older lady, she goes, you're going to do that all over a sign? And I was like, yes, I am, because I want equal application of our laws, equal enforcement of our laws. It's not too hard to ask them that, to do that. And it was, well, I don't care if it was in the right way, it still was prohibited. And, you know, and she didn't get the name of the code officer that told me that. I just think she didn't want to pull them. That's what I think it was. But anyway, it's against the law. I mean, they're not supposed to do that. And they just, you know, they just thumb your nose at people. But you got to be assertive when calling these people on the line. Be professional, you know. And at the third time they don't listen, then you could be, what do you call it? You can be a little more aggressive in your tone and everything. That's usually my approach. Unless I've dealt with them before and they've already, I know what I'm getting into. So you're going to hear a lot of that calls on my channel. These calls, recorded calls between myself and city departments. And all I'm wanting is our sign ordinance to be enforced. I mean, it's kind of painful that I have to actually run for office and get into that forum and get our sign ordinances enforced and get PIA fixed. But that gentleman that spoke with me, as you can hear in the audio, I hope you can hear it in the audio, he wanted to get to Bandera. That's in District 7. He wanted to get to Bandera and Wurzbach in that area, and over by Calabria. It's only a little bit after, it's 10:09 at night, and the buses already quit running on Sunday because, you know, back in the 80s, businesses started closing. I mean, the gentleman, he said he worked at Polo Loco over here, and, you know, I hope he's a registered voter, because he needs to, they need to hear, y'all need to hear this. You need to hear what bus riders have to put up with. I mean, if you take the bus and you work, you don't get paid that amount of hours if you have, versus those that have a car. And a lot of businesses say, we want people who can close. How can you close if your buses don't run? And, oh, well, be a solution is to build $60 million parking rights. Is that right? No, it's not. And like, I do apologize, I don't have the phone facing me, because that's just how my phone works. It's a little wonky. But I'm gonna have more conversations on this channel. Stay tuned. District 7, I'm in it for you. I'm trying to get these problems fixed, but it's gonna take, I think it's gonna take more than me and able to do so. I can only go so far. I'm getting up there in age. I mean, I'm not as youthful as I used to be, but I'm still fighting. I'm fighting for these basic necessities. You won't hear Ana Sandoval get up here and tell you this. You won't hear the other opponents tell you this. I mean, the other opponents aren't going to use the via transit. They're not going to talk to the bus riding community. You know, it's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. You know, and I encourage everyone to register to vote. If you are a United States citizen, you know, and you're over 18 years of age, and you haven't been declared mentally incompetent, and there's like another thing, if you're not, if you're a felon, you had your rights restored, you know, you served your time and everything. If, you know, chances are you're qualified to vote. So go ahead and fill out that form. Your library, your post office, you know, they should have those register to vote forms. And it takes probably like 2 minutes to fill it out. Put your address, you know, your date of birth. Amazingly, gender is optional here in Texas, but if you don't want to put that down, you don't have to. So is a telephone number. If you don't want any of those calls, those nuisance calls, I would advise you to leave your telephone number blank on the voter registration application. You know, sign and date. That's all you have to do. That is basically all you have to do, sign and date. And within a month, you get what is a card, a voter registration card in the mail. And the voter registration card will actually tell you, you know, where your polling place, where your precinct number is, where your city council district is, where your school district is, wherever your AISD, well, AISD, that's Alabama Heights, wherever your SAISD, NISD, NEISD, it's all there on your voter registration. Early voting comes up in April. The election is May 4th of 2019. We need to really fix our deficiencies here in the city. And I'm the only candidate willing to roll up my sleeves and do this. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this out for tonight. I'm going to close this out. It's been a good 21-minute video. Covered a lot of ground right now. And it's Sunday. It's about 10:15 at night, and I got to get ready to do other things right now. A hotel right up here is going up here called La Quinta. La Quinta is going to be like a 4-story hotel for the medical center area. It looks like it's probably going to take a year for them to finish it. You know, we'll see how that goes. There's some undeveloped land over here. There's a lot of undeveloped land off of Word Spot right now. It's pretty much about it. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to cover for right now because we're already at the 22-minute mark, just about. So I'm going to just sign off right now. Sorry about the darkness. I don't have my flash on this phone because I don't want to, you know, think I'm like, you know, I just don't have the flash on this phone for right now. I could turn it on, but it's going to lower my battery. I mean, I have a really good battery, but you know, oh well. That's just how I roll tonight. I'm a little tired right now. Been putting in a lot of hours today, and I'm about to sign out in 3, 2, 1.